Yeah, salute to the people. NoCap Entertainment, NoCap Media. Like and subscribe. This is the intro. Let's go.
She got your son at home. I didn't pay no attention. You know we in a whole new dimension. I ain't gonna pay no mind. Yo, we stay on the grind. It only takes time. It's all in your mind. Yeah, we are. From the ground up, I've been building my vision. Since the day we started, yeah, it's only getting bigger. Just like the gym, we focus on nutrition. But I don't give a fuck unless it's me and my niggas. Feds on the block, I can see it's all crazy. She don't wanna ride shotgun over 80. Seeing on the fire, remind me of the 80s. It can be hot, but we still gotta eat. All these niggas riding when you see us in the Jeep. 5 on the block, see the rest, they wanna creep. No time to backtrack. Seeing all the messages you send on your Snapchat. And we gonna clap back. Cause you know my niggas now we don't play. We had a bitch off the porch, no way. C.O. be saying no visits today. We live on murder with nothing to say. Here it goes on and on. Listen to the words in the song, yeah. Anytime I'm getting on, you know the whole fam getting on, yeah. She got your son at home. I didn't pay no attention. You know we in a whole new dimension. I ain't gonna pay no mind. Yo, we stay on the grind. It only takes time. It's all in your mind. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, let's go, chat. NoCap Entertainment, NoCap Media. Let's start the show.
So today, guys, we're going to talk about Shadéur Sanders. We're going to talk about how brilliant he's doing in the rookie camp. We're going to talk about no matter what they throw against us, no matter what adversity they throw our people's way, we're always going to keep shining, guys. And that's the whole purpose of this video. No matter what happens, keep living your dreams. Don't let nobody tell you can't do nothing. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't achieve what you want to achieve. You understand? NoCap Media. This is what it's about. Like and subscribe. Bam. So let's go. So what we're going to do first and foremost, yeah? We're going to come at a bit of different angle here on NoCap Media today, right? So I'm going to show you guys how this mentality from, and let me make this disclaimer first and foremost, yeah? Shout out to my Caucasian family. Trust me, because we're all family under the sun. Let me just get that clear. Doesn't matter whether you're black, doesn't matter whether you're white, doesn't matter whether you're Chinese, Asian, don't matter. Literally, where you come from under this earth, I love all races under this sun. Remember that. However, different races have lived different experiences. So what we're going to get into today is we're going to get into the systemic racism, really. That's what it is. But, you know, it's not about playing the racism card, but it's systemic behavior from individuals in power that don't like the West Indian, and I'm going to call them West Indian. We ain't going to call them black in this video, because when we say black, we're going into the narrative that the powers that be want us to leave with that narrative, because there ain't no country called black. But when I say West Indies now, when I say the Caribbean, when I say West Indian, that means the Indian that was in the West. And you know, say America's in the West, right? You know that what I'm talking about, yeah? And China's in the East, yeah? You understand what I'm saying, yeah? Right, so boom, NoCap Media, like and subscribe. So what we're going to do, we're going to come from a different angle. I'm going to show you guys, right, that this behavior is systemic. This behavior is systemic. So we shouldn't be surprised. And all we need to do is carry on winning. That's all we need to carry on doing. Because they're going to keep hating and we just need to keep winning. And that's what Shadéur Sanders is showing us. That's what Deion Sanders showed us. And that's what all the beautiful ancestors that came before us showed us. So what we're going to do first and foremost, right, guys, we're going to get in to some footage. So what I want you guys to look up and do your own research, because I'm going to do a complete video on this as well, is Tulsa, Oklahoma, right, Greenwood Massacre. And the reason I'm bringing this up, and it's kind of a deep point, but I want guys to understand that this is systemic behavior. And we're going all the way back to 1921, America, right? Where free slaves, or freemen really, because as I said, look, listen, you guys, listen, they've been lying to us. All these years, they've been lying to us. We was not shipped over to America like sardines in slave ships. There was a slave trade, but literally about 2% of the African American DNA that's in America, I'm saying about 2% of that is contributed to the African DNA that was shipped over from places like Sierra Leone. But we're talking hundreds of thousands, not millions. You understand? Right? And I say that to say that because the reason they've brainwashed everyone to believe that we're slaves and that we was brought over to these countries in slave ships is to not let us realize the truth that actually we was on these continents way before the Europeans were ever on these continents. So therefore, with the law of the land and God's law, which is basically English law, which most of the law is prerequisite, is based around that, right? Is that we would have a claim of right to these lands, so they have to brainwash us for us to not realize that America is your land. You used to call it Turtle Island, right? So let's get into the footage, yeah? Tulsa, Oklahoma. Like I said, we're going to paint and show that this is systemic behavior from back then. Anytime we're shining, they need to shut it down, right? And the answer to this was the KKK. This is how they ended up shutting it down. Go and research the massacre yourself, guys, because I'm not going to get into it fully. But let's just literally get some clips. NoCap Entertainment, and it's just like that. Blah.
Oklahoma had 45 black towns and municipalities. It was capital of black self-determination. Black people came for the same reason as whites, for new possibility. They saw in Tulsa an opportunity for business. Tulsa itself was a boomtown.
The reason was in 1905, an oil well wildcatter discovered the Glen Pool, which was the richest small oil field in the entire world.
And so when the city began to boom because of oil, it just drew more people.
These professionals and merchants in these smaller all-black towns, they then migrated to Tulsa. They're coming by train, they're coming by wagon, they're walking, they're getting there any way that they can. And as this city of Tulsa goes from this sleepy cow town into something else, there's a part of the city in the northeastern corner that becomes the primary African-American settlement, known as Greenwood.
I liken it to a city within a city. Greenwood itself is an area of nearly 40 square blocks, with individual neighborhoods, individual churches that have their own parishes.
About 40 to 45 blocks of a residential community with a business district.
Greenwood community was staked out by a fellow named O.W. Gurley, who really is the father of the Greenwood district and established the first business there in 1906.
Gurley was a very community-focused, visionary leader who saw in Greenwood, the promise of creating a community where Black people could flourish.
O.W. Gurley and J.B. Stratford, they worked together and they had a specific intent to make African Americans wealthy, landowners, entrepreneurs. They both knew what the state of Oklahoma was offering. They knew that they needed to be very intentful in creating Greenwood.
These were members of a Black community who were showing Black people that a new world was possible. They were a sign and a symbol to Black communities about all of the wonderful things that we could be.
It was a city within a city. But what they're not understanding to you is that they eventually destroyed that beautiful Black economy that was a self-sustaining Black economy, because it was literally all the way around from land ownership to Black businesses, and the money would circulate within that community. I think it was about 100 days or so before it would even leave Greenwood, which is amazing, right? And if you do comparative studies today, you realize, and the same thing now, you understand? So we need to re-educate ourselves in order to learn how to, and this goes for every race on earth as well, learn how to keep our money within our communities in order to grow our communities. Understand that, right? Boom. So guys, let's get into the second part of the footage now, yeah? So now we're gonna go into an interview from Rick Eisen, right? And Rick Eisen does a sick breakdown. Let's listen to this breakdown of what he says regarding Shadéur. He's literally he breaks down what we already know already. NoCap Entertainment, it's just like that. Blow.
Now, Tyler Shuck gets drafted, as we all know, by the Saints while Shadéur Sanders was still on the board. And then Jalen Milroe went. And then Dylan Gabriel to Cleveland. And then Shadéur Sanders waits till Saturday. 3 days for this kid. He gets punked in the meantime, too, on the phone. Wildest draft sequence. And then he gets drafted by a team that passed on him 6 times. They traded up to use their last draft choice to get to the spot to draft him anyway in the Cleveland Browns. So he and Dylan Gabriel now on the same depth chart, same quarterback room with Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett, as we know. Well, this weekend was the first opportunity to see everybody spinning, in Cleveland. We got ourselves a little camp going on in Ohio. And so it's the first time we get to see everybody throwing. First time we get to see some phone videos, somebody shot of one great moment.
A lot of Siciliano vertical phone videos over the weekend.
Look at Siciliano working it. And we get to see Shadéur Sanders in a Cleveland Browns uniform, number 12. And there was one beautiful dot fly pattern, looked like throw.
Yeah, down the right sideline. It was nice.
He made some nice throws, man.
I saw that one because Dion retweeted it.
Coop told me, my son's like, Sanders just threw a touchdown, Dad. Shadéur threw a touchdown. And Dylan Gabriel threw an interception as Schlesinger, the second-round draft choice, the first guy on night 2 that the Browns took.
I love it.
To give us an indication that they weren't taking Shadéur Sanders. Because if you were taking Shadéur and you got 2 of the first 4 picks of a second round, you're certainly not going to pass up on him on the first shot when nobody can stop you and take him on the second shot when a bunch of teams can trade in front of you and prevent it. So that's the first order of business. And then Shadéur met with the media. So keep in mind, this is supposed to be a kid that doesn't care about this sort of stuff. Because he's better than you. He's better than the media. Let's remember everybody. That's supposed mantra here. Unless you think he's just turning it on, because that is important to him. His branding and things like that.
Legendary.
Or you just listen to him talk. Let's do that. First order business, he was asked how he was handling the drop in the draft and how his spirits were being kept up.
I mean, you just got to step back and look at life. Like, you're in a great situation overall that you're able to be healthy. That's one thing going through, even with my brother going through an injury and my pops and everybody in the family, like, you value life and you value opportunity and just waking up every day a different way. So that's kind of why it's nothing for me to really, no matter what, in any situation, I can't really be fazed by it. It's like playing quarterback. You go down there, you may have not scored the whole game or whatever, but then when it gets to that final 2 minutes and it's time to lock in extra, you can't be in your feelings. You can't be down about anything. You still got another chance.